Welcome back to the Oblivious Maximus podcast for a strange first time, us both in Australia, recording on cameras, phones, old podcasting equipment, and Ben in my sister's spare bedroom in Queensland.
Yes, I'm on tour. Thanks for having me on the podcast, Aaron. Yeah, this is us attempting to just keep it rolling.
Yeah, we had very good intentions of recording multiple episodes before Ben went away and fucked that up pretty well. So here we are.
We were going to do. We were both too hungover, so
Yeah, hitting the old 9:30 a.m. text and saying we still recording and just not doing it at all.
so hence we're doing it like this.
Yeah, this is what replaces it. So solo. Yeah, it will be good. How's been interstate?
Yeah, good. So I've been on like just like an end of year, like just trying to get some gigs in interstate before the end of the year. So did the Comedy Store in Sydney last week, which was sick. So Tuesday to Tuesday there. Yeah, the Comedy Store is a sick club, and they have a couple of other gigs around Sydney that they run on the other days, Tuesday and Wednesday. So it was great. Love doing gigs in Sydney. The club up there's fucking awesome.
Yeah, nice.
And hang around for a couple of extra days, just hanging out. Did a couple of other spots and caught up with people. And now I'm in Brisbane and I'm staying at your sister's place. Thank you for organising that.
Thanks, Ellie Osborne, my sister.
So that's been good. And yeah, good to be in Brizzy. It's pissed rain the entire time I've been here, so that's sick as hell.
Beautiful.
Well, it's 36 and cloudy in Melbourne, so you're not missing much down here.
Yeah, I can't believe it's so
Absolutely.
hot in
Shit.
Melbourne at the moment. I don't know why.
It's fucked.
It's like, I mean, it's true, like, sign of the times shit. Like, don't want to get too political on the pod, but we fucked it, guys. The Earth's burning to death, so that's the end of it.
If it's
No,
this
we
hot
can
in
fix it.
November-
We can fix it. I reckon we can fix it. I'm sure we can.
So a couple things we got happening. I mean, we put up last week, or when this comes out last week, the live podcast we're doing, vaguely announced on the episode with Ginger, but actually announced now. So we're doing a live podcast on the 19th of December at the Bergie Band Room. Got a couple mad guests we're going to announce soon. I mean, we may as well talk about two of them now because by the time this goes up, we can probably...
Yeah, for
have that
sure.
on the internet anyway.
Well, you know,
So
people have loved hearing Otis on the pod, so of course we got to get him on the live show.
fresh back from American tour with AWOL, Otis is going to...
Can't wait to
Present.
hear about this tour.
Hopefully he brings a PowerPoint or something to talk us through. Maybe a picture slideshow, something interactive for us all.
And if you follow them on Instagram or follow Otis on Instagram, they mostly like played a lot of shows, but ate a lot of food. So I'm more interested to hear about this.
It was mainly an eating tour. I did see most of the members of AOL the other day, and yeah, that was pretty resounding feedback. Was a lot of eating happened.
Mm.
Shows were good, obviously, but a lot of good food. But they also sounded pretty happy to be back in Australia.
A normal country.
A normal
Well,
country.
not even really anymore,
Somewhat.
but
And our other guest that we're going to put up this week is Tanea from Threshold, another much requested guest of the pod and dear mate, avid listener, tuner in. So
will be awesome
yeah,
on the
Tanea.
live show.
yeah, Tanea and Otis are the first two, and then probably got some more people that we'll announce soon. But they're going to be there. We're going to be there chatting. We got some bits. Should we talk about that a little bit?
Or
Yeah.
maybe we'll leave that for the next one.
Well, no, I think we
You tell me.
can talk about one of them. I guess getting to the end of the year, everyone's like favorite releases of the year. So Aaron and I will talk about our favorite releases of the year, and then I guess yeah, we just want to put a shout out to everyone out there of like what you've been loving this year, and yeah, what releases you reckon are in your top three? We reckon.
Yeah, I reckon top three. We'll do that, and maybe some top shows and things like that. What I think the idea was we'll get a little like poll thing up so you can feed them into us, and then we can name drop you live. You can put in some crass remarks, and we'll tell them to a room of listeners.
We'll point you out in the audience.
Yeah, if you're there, we'll point at you and make you stand up. Own your opinions live.
Exactly. Defend yourself.
Yeah, you can't hide behind the fucking keyboard. But yeah, so we'll be doing that. We got some other things we'll talk about soon too. But tickets are on sale now. They're quite limited because the room is quite small. So I'd love it if you bought one. If not, there'll also be tickets on the door too. Every ticket will go in the running to win some prize packs. And we've got generously have had some stuff donated to us for the prize packs by Gold Street Press, which Patty, who's done every design thing for this podcast and
everything else,
and you forever,
and
yeah, and me forever. Patty's little craft and art and all sorts of curios, little brand that he runs with his partner Ellie. They're going to send us some stuff. And then also Audio Technica, who gave me these amazing headphones and
the microphone
that I'm using
into. They gave us, I can actually wheel over and get them really quick. They've given us 3 sets of earbud headphones, which to give away in these packs, which is fucking mental. They're like really dope AirPods, basically. Let me slide over and show you one.
Big stuff here.
Prep this
before. But look at that.
Right in the cam.
I'll show Ben on the other cam.
Oh, those are
pretty mad, but
you know,
maybe we only have 2 in the prize pack.
Yeah, maybe we have 1 prize pack to give away. No, we got 3 of them to give away. So big cheers to Audio Technica for giving us that stuff too, which is dope. But yeah, so everyone who buys a ticket will go in the draw for that. We'll also have, fucking drinks and all this sort of shit too. Yeah.
It should be
it's
mad.
the end of year knockoff. Come
the end of year knockoff.
Just come get fucking, who cares? You're not working on that last Friday of the year.
I've taken it off. Why haven't you? This is your chance now to take that Friday off work.
This is your chance.
This is your chance.
Yeah, I'm stoked for the live episode. It's going to be great to see some people who are listening to the pod as well. Yeah, chance to like say good day and put a face to a name, or for us, not you. I mean, you've seen our faces, so that's all good.
And our names.
I don't know.
Yeah, no, I think it'd be good, and I think the idea that Ben and I had was to try and just do this every year. Just do a little fun thing at the end of the year, and yeah. But I reckon it'll be good. The other thing too at the minute is we're just trying to get as many guests in as we can before the big old Chrissy breakup. So this will be the good recap for all that too. But yeah, otherwise we'll also have some friggin' new merch and stuff like that there. I reckon I'm fully bringing a box full of the old Oblivious Maximus shirts, and they're just going to be free. So if you
want to listen to my old emo band Crush, man, do I have some 7 inches for you that I just pulled out of storage.
When Ben and I initially talked about the prize pack, it was a lot of like just sticking our old band's shit in a bag and saying, here you go. But then we've actually got some cool, valuable stuff now to add to that too. All right.
Well, before oh, sorry, go ahead.
Oh no, I was just gonna say what the other things that we have recently been up to, aside from you being abroad in the other states of Australia. We a couple weeks ago went to the big old, well, the Vans weekender thing that happened down here. Had a couple different shows.
The Bunt Jam.
Yeah, the Bunt Jam. You went and saw some Canadians earlier in the week.
Yeah, it was a big week of gigs. Like it was it was a bit on arm, which I thought meant concrete arms, but I think means reinforced concrete, which is both. That's also cool. So went and saw them, and the band Phase with Cutters and Brax, I think another Spanish band. So that was an awesome show at the Tote. Never seen so many skinheads in the one venue. It was kind of wild. I forgot that they existed. Normally you see the one random one floating around, but to see, I mean, they don't leave Footscray. So it was good.
A gaggle of them in the wild.
Yeah, I mean, they've all crossed the docks to get over to the Tote. So that was a bit of a sight. But that was a fucking awesome show, packed. People going bunter at the Tote.
Yeah.
Had a good time at that, and then it was a massive week of gigs because then on Friday, the big no apology shows at the Bergie. And on your birthday as well.
Yeah, it was fun. I don't know that I talked about it on the podcast, but there was months ago. Pete, dear friend of the previous guest of the podcast, in fact, probably a future guest of the podcast too at this rate, but Peter Bordy from No Apologies messaged me some months ago and made suggestion that I might have to play either guitar or bass for No Apologies at that show, which obviously didn't end up happening. But then I spent, 10 minutes at home learning how to play Survival, one of Australia's great hardcore songs. And fortuitously on my birthday, they played at our Bergie band room, and there was a massive delay in flights, and I had to sound check Survival on bass on my birthday. One of the great, great moments for me, which was fun.
So it wasn't for nothing.
Wasn't for nothing learning that, and Pat, who plays bass in No Apologies, his bass is like maybe the shortest strap that I've ever put on, and I'm a large man.
Truly comical photo of you wearing this bass.
Yeah. It was basically touching my chin, but I can rip it up there. That's where I'm moving up there.
That you're in the pocket. You're in the pocket up there.
I'm in the pocket. But the show was dope. Dope bands. Pete. There was a surprise birthday cake meant to be thrown at me.
Yeah, and, this was sort of my fuck up. Pete.
Yeah, so talk to that.
So a boardie contacts me before the show and says, we want to bring Aaron up on stage with a cake and I'll smash it into his face. And I was sort of like, well, I'm not going to say no to Pete, but I was like, I don't think Aaron is going to like that. But it's Peter Bordy, so you do it your ass.
Do what you're told.
But I stupidly left it too late. Went to Woolies to get or Coles to get a cake. Out of cakes at that time. Probably shouldn't have ever. Yeah, probably shouldn't have left it till right before the show. A few people have probably, had a shit week at work and just gone in on the full cake. So they were off the shelves. And all I could find were these they were almost like a cream bun, but with a Lamington. So I bought like 4 of those, and I was like, went up to Pete at the merch desk, and I was like, Pete, I think I fucked it. And he's like, what do you mean, man? I showed him. Luckily, the other Pete was, said it's going to be good, it's going to work. Although I did put candles on them and light them on fire, but then people had started moshing already, and then walking through the side of a mosh pit with lit candles, people get very scared. I just remember.
Well, and I think there was also the other failing was there should have been some information for me to be close to the stage.
Yeah.
And I was back of the room, 36-year-old punter, pint in hand, nowhere near the stage, nowhere near the pit.
I thought there would be some sort of like call from Pete to get you.
Yeah.
No,
This
there
is
was
probably where we should have maybe talked a bit more about it. But promptly then I went backstage, which is just off the side of the stage. Pete grabbed. Luckily, I had the foresight to blow out the candles before Pete grabbed it, and he just pegged it into the crowd, completely missing you and hitting.
It's absolutely smashed. I don't know. I don't think Pete knew where I was, but he was pretty close. It hit the guy that was like 2 people next to me. And this poor fella, I don't know, maybe he's a listener of the podcast. If he is, come to the Bergie Band Room on the 19th of December. I'll get you a drink. But this poor cunt copped a full tray of Lamingtons or whatever it was.
Boy,
Right
did he
to the
cop
head.
it.
Boy, did he cop it. Copped it sweet. And he had long hair, and he was peeling that out of his hair for the entire song Survival by the band No Apologies. And then afterwards, the venue staff had to clean up a bunch of Lamingtons. So thanks, Bergie Band Room, for having us on the 19th of December. Sorry about the Lamington cleanup, but
We'll make up for it by getting a bunch of people in to drink piss.
yeah, exactly. But thanks for the birthday shout out. No apologies. And thanks, Ben, for trying your hardest, mate, to get that cake.
Yeah, I got a lot on.
And then, the next day after the big gig, the big No Apologies gig, was the Vans Bunt Jam. And we went out for some lunch, went to get down there early. We thought to ourselves, going to a free speed show, essentially, in Port Melbourne, of all places, might be a somewhat challenging affair. So I went down early. We waited in a line. We got in. And then basically as soon as us in the line got in to get, everyone was there to see the skateboarding at that time. Then there was no line after that. We could have just gone down like 30 minutes later, and we wouldn't have had to wait in a massive line.
Big rush early, but a pretty big venue as well. So
massive venue, yeah.
Yeah, it's the Timber Yards at in Port Melbourne, which the new Bloom Fest is coming up there. So it was good to kind of like scope it out a little, and it's like a massive just a massive warehouse with then this like big drinking and eating area out the front. The irony of us eating Frankie's Tortas and Tacos and getting there, and there was a Frankie's Tortas and Tacos food truck, which was...
We made all the effort to go get food beforehand because we didn't want to be stuck in Port Melbourne with no food, and then the exact food we ate was at the show anyway.
And luckily friends of ours drove down, so it wasn't, Port Melbourne, notoriously not very public transport friendly, and also just really far away. But it was the skateboarding, it was kind of hard to describe. It was like 2 vert ramps. It's been a while since I've played Tony Hawk.
There you go. Tony Hawk.
And with like AFL goals in the middle with and there were people trying to jump over like a stick to try and do the highest ollie.
Yeah, it was like a crossbar for what would be on like NRL posts or an NFL post. And they were raising the crossbar, and I guess the idea was they had to ollie over it. But then there was also like a marking competition as part of it. So they were like trying to ollie over it and mark the ball as well.
Yeah, so early on it was just like the crossbar and then them trying to like ollie over or do a trick over and then mark a footy. And the person kicking the footy, not very good accuracy, not really hitting them on the chest with it.
The other thing, basically as we walked in, I was thinking in my head, we might see some like skate celebrities at this event, this Vans event. And literally the only celebrity that I saw was BT, Brian Taylor from Channel 7's football broadcast. And
that was
for some reason,
true jump scare moment of like, what the fuck is this cunt doing here?
So weird. But then surely there must have been some AFL thing that, or I don't know, maybe he just heard there was a footy kicking happening in Port Melbourne and it's the off season, so he had to get down there to check it out. But all that
roaming
through my head.
All that I thought in my head afterwards was like, why didn't they get him to go and kick the ball? Like, he knows how to kick a footy.
That would have been a good get.
Yeah.
For the bunt jam.
Yeah, the bunt Vans can't pull BT.
Yeah. But yeah, then it was like the footy thing, and then it was like raising the bar higher and higher to see who could go over that. That was pretty intense. But it did get to a point where it was like, that's pretty high. Like, like if someone jumped that would be like a world record. And I realized that this bunt podcast was like the dude running the bunt jam was like also the singer of that band Phase.
Yeah, right. I didn't realize that.
Yeah. But it was pretty wild. Like there was, but that area was fucking packed for the skating. It was insane.
I watched two things and then I was like, I'm going to the bar. There's too many people in here.
Yeah, big time.
And the bar area had a pretty sick little thing where if you finished drinking a can of beer and you tossed it was into these bins on top of a car. I guess it was encouraging recycling. If you got it into the bin, you got a free drink. And that was basically the game that I played for then the next hour until I missed a few. And then I was like, fuck it, I'm not drinking these beers anymore. But it was a good hang there. We just hung outside with a bunch of our mates, people we know, talked shit. And then the band started playing. FaZe and Bet on Arm played again. So
that was awesome.
You guys got to have a double go at it.
Yeah, they just ripped it. It was great energy from both of those bands. And then Primitive Blast, just tearing it up. Kids and I guess haven't been to like a all ages thing like that for a while. Kids going crazy. It was truly wild. Awesome to see. And then obviously Speed capping off the day, and I guess seeing them after I missed them on the big tour that they did here. But also I guess seeing them after that Knock Loose tour and them being in the States a bunch, like they're truly ripping at the moment. Like already but just like next level.
Yeah, I think, and I mean, they did that full Australian tour, then went straight to Europe, then did a full European tour, and then were in Australia for like 2 days, and then did that Vans show. And they were, like, there's one thing about seeing a band that's like ripping, but there's another thing to see a band that's like just like touring relentlessly because they're so tight. And yeah, it was fucking dope. The show was wild. I mean, there's video of it on the internet. It's crazy. It was super fun. Some people throwing fucking skateboards into the pit.
That was hectic.
I'm sure some very drunk skate guys definitely got chonned pretty hard by the pit happening around them. So good on you boys for getting down to Port Melbourne and copping it sweet. But
two crazy worlds meeting.
yeah, exactly. It was mad. So it was and dope for me because playing the Extortion's playing the Speed Christmas thing, which is well and truly sold out now, but it was pretty got me revved up for that, which should be good. And then 2 days ago, Speed won an Aria. So what a fucking year for the boys. It's pretty wild.
Yeah, crazy to see them. Well deserved, and but yeah, what a trajectory for that band.
Yeah, and I think like there's been quite a lot of talk over the last like 5 or 6 years about that category, the heavy metal and hard rock category, and there's been a couple winners that I would say are neither heavy metal nor hard rock. And, I would say Speed are definitely a hardcore band. But to be fair, of the bands that they were nominated against, they were probably once again the most deserving of that award under that genre.
I think I saw Dune Rats in there.
Yeah. Good metal band, them. But I think the biggest thing for me is the boys. They fucking earned it. So give them everything. I would have given them all 3 bloody awards they were nominated for, but wasn't my choice really. But anyway, congrats lads on the awards. You all rock. All right. Well, we're coming to the end of our Zoom call here, Ben. So any last things to pump? Got another episode coming out next week, which will be good. Hopefully get back into the swing and doing more regular face-to-face guest ones as we get towards the end of the year. And then, the big live show. What do you got coming up otherwise?
That's kind of it for me for the year. I've got a trial show on... Fuck. It'd be good if I had the info sort of ready to go.
I'll pump my Aglo shows while you find what you're doing. By the time this comes out, I will be playing probably the next day at the Bendigo with Burn and Helen Tumour for their 7-inch Split 7 launch, which will be dope. And then Aglo's playing the Gutless record launch at the Tote on the 14th of December as well, which will be fucking mad. With Gutless and Faceless Burial, it should be sick. And Bludger as well. Yeah.
I'm just doing a trial show with my friend Ty, sort of working towards my Comedy Fest show for next year. 7 p.m. on Thursday, 5th of December, just an hour show. It's $5. It's a really small venue, but me and my mate Ty will be trying some new jokes and all that sort of stuff. So if you want to see how the sausage is made, come on down for that.
Nice. The other thing too, we as much as I've enjoyed getting Liquid Death giving us stuff, we've had to jump ship firmly to support not $1 billion corporation.
Yes.
Company, and they got enough money, and fuck knows they don't need us anyway.
Yeah.
But the lovely people, specifically Sai at Born Dry, has sent us some new fizzy water to drink and talk about. New water, baby.
And it's
Australian owned.
Australian owned, all recyclable, fucking good for you, no sugar, which I love because otherwise I'll be 1,000 times bigger than I am. So, but yeah, check out Born Dry. We're going to be drinking it lots. Here it is. This is just fizzy water. It fucking rocks. So thanks, Sai. Thanks, Born Dry. Drink it. Check it out. Brutal.
All right. Well, thanks for tuning in, folks. Live show. Make sure you snap up your tickets to that. And we'll see you soon.